You mentioned before 300 tour dates a year, now headlining, but you opened up for some pretty big bands over the years. 21 Pilots and Incubus. Saw you in Incubus last summer. Yeah, you're at that show too. Yeah, I saw you. Do you learn something new from a band, or is that still happening? Is there still shared advice and experiences like that?
Oh yeah, like I feel like one of the best advice was what is the quote? It's like good art is original, great art is stolen. And yeah, I mean we try to take the things that we love about each show. So like just give some examples. 21 Pilots is a band that just like really engages the audience in a way that is kind of transcends the stage. Tyler and Josh, their stage presence is just like it's meant to be like watched, and like it deserves your attention, whether you like their music or not. Like their show is like
well, a lot of times they're playing in the audience,
right? And
they're writing the audience, so that engagement is there. But what about somebody like a Incubus, like a Brandon Boyd?
Yeah, like Brandon, like we're all walking and he's just kind of gliding. It's kind of the thing that we always said about.
He's got that aura.
Yeah, he's somebody that just kind of in his own way kind of captures an audience by like, well, one, he's obviously very good looking, which is good for him. But yeah, he has a way in his vocal performance, and the way even like what I took a lot from him like was his microphone technique. As maybe as funny as that sounds, the way he like holds a microphone and kind of brings it back off and then brings it back in is something that I was like, that is so uniquely Brandon Boyd, and that's really cool, and I'm going to try to take that.
Yeah, and I think too with Incubus in particular, since they've been doing this for like 25 years, and it was just sort of the whole spirit of the tour is like everyone's equal, everything's going to be fine, it's all going to work out. As opposed to the 21 Pilots tour was a little bit more uptight, which was fine. It was just kind of the spirit of the show was a little more tense, and everyone's running around kind of stressed out, and Incubus is like, we're all just hanging out and it's good. And I think one necessarily isn't better than the other, but like watching them 25 years after doing this being like, we genuinely love what we're doing. And getting to just be here with our buds, having like a rock and roll summer camp, and everything's going to happen and it's going to be great. And 21 Pilots had a spirit of genuine love for what they're doing too, but they're closer to our age and we can kind of identify with everything feels a little bit more
well, maybe in 15 years 21 Pilots will have that Incubus vibe.
Maybe, you know,
more chill. And
but I think it just comes it's essentially like just inspiring to see people that have
phases
done
of
this
their career,
so,
of their band path,
and just like encourage that. I don't know. It was just sweet to see veterans doing their thing.
Now, when you guys are on the road and you spend so much time together, and maybe one of you is having an off day, you know, and how did the others pick one another up? Like, so like, say you're not feeling it one day. Say like you tackled a whole row of Girl Scout cookies watching basketball last night. Well, that was me. And you're not, and you're no, it was, you know, and you know you're just not feeling. How do you pick each other up?
That's a good question.
Well, I think so. We just played a show in Clifton Park, and it was one of those dates,
which is in New York.
Yeah,
I would have never known that.
And it was one of those shows where we had crossed the border, the Canadian border, 4 times in a row. So it was like in a bus. It sounds miserable, and it is miserable. Like you wake up like at 3 or 4, have to get out and like go show your boarding pass, and then get back in the bus and try to go to sleep. And so it kind of breaks up your like deep sleep or whatever. So we did that 4 nights in a row because we did Boston to Toronto, back to Clifton Park, back to Montreal, or something like that. And there was this Clifton Park was one of those shows where we all woke up, and there were like the three of us, me, Daniel, and Troy, woke up, and we were just like, yeah, we were like so sick, and it was cloudy and snowy, and there wasn't like much around the venue. It was like 30 minutes outside of like in Albany, so it was kind of a random. And Adam, to pick on Adam again, like literally just went into dad mode and like had us all tea and vitamin C and Alka-Seltzer flu and cold like drink. And Nate was like, the whole day was just like, it's gonna be okay, buddy. It's gonna be okay. And I'm like stressing out because, like, you know, when your main instrument is your singing voice, it's like, and you wake up sick, it's like, oh no, right. This is not good. So it's just like very stressful. And I think in every way, like Dylan back here is always like, you're fine, you know, kind of like, I feel like in a lot of ways it gives me more of a perspective on like, dude, it's going to be fine. You don't have to stress out this much. So yeah, there's like different, like, I feel like each person is kind of bringing, and when you're sick together, then you really bond. It's like, dude, this sucks. Yeah, we suck together. Yeah. We're like passing off germs, but we're just, yeah.
And then if all else fails, you can have a group T-Pain off.
Ooh.
Next time.
That'd be
sick.
sick.
Think about that next time.